because I've been in those situations where I feel like I couldn't get help if I could just catch a break. Your parents have bailed me out of that before. I remember going to FAM, and I think I needed like a $500, $600 to get back in school. I don't know how much it was about, and we didn't have it at the time. But your mom was like, "How much is it?" All right, here, you take. Can I pay over the phone? Because she's almost like, "Get me off the phone. What do you need?" This dude has had a rough time going, and he just needs a break. What up, what up, what up, what up? It's Three Brothers No Sense. I am Tavares Ferguson, a.k.a. Ferg. Join my co-hosts, Buff and Razi. Fellas, tell them what's on your mind.
Well, quite a bit, man. I'm just very, very excited. I can't remember if I talked about it on the show, but I definitely spoke to Razio about it, man, like a couple of months ago. I had the idea to refinance the house, signed the final paperwork yesterday morning. So I'm just excited at the money I'm about to save. That right, excites me, man.
Yeah. We looked into that too, but I think we're trying to move in the next 3 to 4 years. And I think Razi, like when crunching the numbers, it really didn't make sense. So, you got the mansion. So that's your long-term house.
Oh, I don't have a mansion, first off. But second,
an estate.
I mean, we purchased back in like 2011. I don't have an estate in. So, the rates are very different today than they were 9 years ago. So we took advantage of it, man, and it worked out. So just happy about that.
Yeah, anybody who's thinking about refinancing now is probably one of the better times to refinance. I mean, you could get, mid, high twos, low threes. If you've got really good credit. Even if you got okay credit, you can get in the mid threes, which is really good from a historical basis. So now's the time, refinance, pull some cash out if you've been in the house for a little while and consolidate some debt.
Why wouldn't they
lower
refinance?
Your payments? Say what?
Why wouldn't they refinance?
The only thing I would say refinancing, like you said, Ferg, is if you're going to be moving in the next 2 to 3 years, because your break even point for refinancing is usually about 4 to 5 years. So because even though you're refinancing and it's no out of pocket expense, a lot of times what ends up happening is they charge you, say, closing costs, and it may be $5,000, $6,000 or whatever in those closing costs. They put it into the loan, into the refinance, so you don't have to pay anything, but that is money that you paid. It's just in the new loan. And so, whatever money you're saving from refinancing, that's what they call a break-even point, is how much you save. Say you save $300, $400 a month in your mortgage by refinancing. Well, it's going to take you, 10 payments, 11 payments to cover that closing cost. So that's what you want to make sure, is that whatever closing costs that you paid, you can cover that with the money you saved over the next, 4 years, 4 years. And then that's when it makes sense to go ahead and sell the house if you need to or whatever. So just crunch the numbers and make sure that you're saving enough to offset the closing costs before you think you're going to sell the house.
Especially if that interest rate is not a huge gap.
Yeah. That's what that interest rate difference is, what tells you how much you're going to save. So if your big rule of thumb is that if you are saving more than 0.5%, it might make sense. If you're saving more than 1%, you can probably save, your break even is probably going to be like 1.5 years, 2 years, because 1% interest is a big, big difference in how much interest you pay on a house. So that's why you got to look at the difference in the interest rate and then how much money you're saving on your payment every month.
I would definitely say it's just worth looking into and then make the decision from there. But anybody listening, at least look into it, because I did this just off of a conversation with a coworker, and here I am. So definitely look into it.
So, Razi, we've been in 5 years. If I can save 1%, even if I'm leaving in 3 years.
Yeah, it might make sense. Truthfully.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll blame you.
I mean, get your quote, run your numbers, and then we'll talk. And then I'll let you know if it makes sense or not. Like that. Right, like Byron said, it doesn't hurt you to look into it. It's a single credit pool a lot of times. It's not going to break your credit score. go ahead and look into it. Let them pull your score so they can give you a quote, and then run numbers and everything, and then make the decision.
All righty. All right, what you got for us, man?
I got two things, man. So one is I want to talk about how the Army screwed me one last time before letting me out. So I am officially retired. I am out of the Army now.
Congrats.
So yeah, let's get high, whatever. But you know, whatever it is, no BBVA Compass, I do not smoke. I'm just letting y'all know that, you know. But anyway, like what happened was I was on the Army's insurance, and I put in all my retirement paperwork, and I'm waiting. And all of a sudden, Haley goes to pick up a prescription, and they're like, yeah, your insurance is canceled. So trying to figure that out. Come to find out, my retirement paperwork went through. Nobody contacted me. I didn't know anything about it. And they canceled my insurance without me knowing it. And so I ended up having to go ahead and do my life event, jump through hoops. So it's no big deal. I'm covered by my company. So it's not a huge issue. The problem is that nobody contacted me to let me know my paperwork was done, that I was actually out of the Army, and that I needed to go ahead and start working on getting my insurance transferred over. So if something had happened, you know, one of us got sick or something like that, we wouldn't have been covered by insurance, and that would have been huge for us. And so, you know, just one last little screw you from the Army right before they let me out.
Well, it's the Army way, bro.
Yeah.
It's so,
exactly.
And at this point, you're no benefit to them anymore. So why would they take care of you?
Yeah, exactly.
All you do is cost them money at this point.
Man, it's harsh, but you know, 21 years and, you know, 2 deployments and a broken body, broken mind, and they just like you say, it's you're no use to us anymore. So screw you, Army. And but on a higher note, I just want to say Girbaud's are coming back. So y'all going to get some?
Okay.
I haven't seen that memo.
Who said they're coming back?
They're coming back. They're relaunching. They've got like a slimmer fit to them, but they still have the straps and everything. So yeah.
The painter's loop.
No, not just the painter's loop. You know, Girbaud's had those like full straps around the legs and around the ankles. And so yeah, they still have those straps, but yeah, they're more form fitted, slimmer fit. I don't know, man. They look kind of hot. I saw a lot of people saying that they were pretty. They're pretty nice. Sounds
like you just want permission to get a pair. So go ahead and get you a pair, bro.
Nah, man. Are we too old? And like, I feel like our age group is the group that's gonna jump out and go get them.
I'm not getting into Girbauds.
Hey, man. Did you have a pair of Girbauds when they were hot?
I don't think I could afford Girbauds. I think I might have had one.
They were expensive, man.
I might have had a pair, and if I did, I probably got them from TJ Maxx, so they were probably Girbaud. They were probably what were they? They'll have the brand, but they were probably irregular.
Yeah, that's what it is. One leg longer than the other.
32, 33, 37. So I don't know. Girbaud was never my thing. But that's hilarious, bro. So I will let me know when you get your Girbauds. Are you going to get some Girbaud sweats too? Since you're a Girbaud fan now?
No. I mean, if I could see Girbauds getting elevated to thought wear anyway. So, you know, I once they get that, that's when I go grab some, I guess.
Oh, so you're just not. They need to meet your criteria.
Yeah, they need to meet my thoughtness so that I can get some.
That's thoughtful of you, bro.
Yeah. So I'll match them. I'll pair them with my Fenty underwear.
Oh, you got a pair?
Nah. As soon as I can find some, I'm about to get them in the aftermarket. Man. They sold out so fast, but I'm gonna get some.
I can't believe we're having this conversation.
Hey, man, he took us there, yo.
He did. He's Razi. Well, my big thing is anybody that knows me, I'm a This Is Us fan. So all I can say is nigga.
Yeah.
That woo. Episode 1, episode 2, like, dude. I mean, I went through, man, nigga.
It might have been the best written television episode of this year, on network TV at least. Yeah. I know everybody loves Lovecraft Country, but as far as the subtleties and how they wrote in Black Lives Matter and everything, like it didn't just slam you in the face, like it gradually build up and just let you know how a lot of us feel. Like you don't have any outlet. You just have to internalize it, and then you have to worry about everybody else's feelings sometimes. It was perfectly written to me, man.
Yeah. I mean, that show, it took me down memory lane of just the last, call it 6-7 months. Like you forgot, I forgot, who was it? Beth mentioned they got the COVID. Because remember when people call it the COVID? No, the Rona. The Rona.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what star got it. Tom Hanks, was that who was it?
Yeah.
Like yeah. I remember those days when the stars got it and you're like, oh, it is real. Tom Hanks got the Rona? Mm-hmm. We thought it was serious, but when we start seeing celebrities and people get it, it's like, man, it's crazy. But they did a great job of bringing that in. The last 10 seconds of the show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, what? I'm looking forward to exploring that. That's going to be nice. It's cool. It's funny, though, because my parents just started watching it. And, so they're back on season 1 right now. And I didn't know that they had kind of that Black experience on Showcase. Or, I mean, I knew but I didn't remember. But do you guys remember the scene where William is just meeting Randall and Randall's taking William out to go get clothes? And he gave that monologue about, oh, you think because I was raised by white parents that I don't live my life as a Black man? Like, I don't see that guy, the store clerk over there watching us. I don't see the microaggressions, and started kind of explaining all of them. He's like, I'm a Black man. I got to live that my life all day long. So they've been hitting us with this from the start. And like you said, Byron, it's just the subtlety of it doesn't slam it right in your face. And so it doesn't turn off those viewers that might not want to watch because it's too Black.
Yeah. I mean, because he's going through it. I mean, he's a Black man in America. I mean, it is what it is. They show those moments of anguish that he goes through, those uncomfortable moments he's going through as a child. But this last episode just showed him it just pouring out. Like I was telling Z, like, we're exhausted. He's spoken up. Like, I think the presidency, the pandemic, the George Floyd thing, all of it, he couldn't hold back anymore. The same way most of us have grown up being Black in America all our lives. I think this last year just made it. I mean, it just put everything on another level where I can't hold it in anymore. In the same way I've seen other cultures like, oh, it's so horrible what's going on. He's like, this is not the first Black dude to die. Like when he said that, it made me think of so many conversations that I've had or I wanted to have had with other people. It's like, yes, this was horrible with George Floyd, but this ain't the first one. So I don't know. This is us, people. If you have not watched it, start season 1. You will not regret it. I think Byron is officially a fan now.
I've always been a fan. I mean, I don't even know this is a criticism. I think it's a show that has some hateable characters. Like, I don't like Kate.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, and I remember it was a episode of Blackish where the wife tells Andre, she's like, "You only like the Black scenes. That's the I'm like, yo, that's me."
That was recent. I just felt like I just watched that a few weeks, about a week or so ago.
It's always been a good show. And William, you said your parents are watching season 1, Razi, so they get to experience William. That was like my favorite character. So
yeah. Well, Beth is my favorite. Beth, then William, then I think maybe Toby. Like, Toby's funny.
You can't not like Toby, yo.
Yeah, you can't like Toby. Yeah. Oh, the whole McGill thing. Like, I remember when I first like, oof. And well, like I said, great show. I'm gonna make it quick. This episode on our last Great Divide. Unless you guys had anything you wanted to bring up. Do you guys have anything that you want to bring us together in this moment of clarity and this moment of unity we need coming into this election week? Because we haven't even said that this is election week. When this show drops, it will be November 2nd, the day before the election 2020. That will probably shape our livelihood for the foreseeable future.
I got nothing.
Razi?
You got it.
Mine is very simple. Very simple. Never met a cat person I trust. Never dated a cat people. I just don't trust cat people. People that own cats should not be allowed to vote.
Damn.
They make bad decisions, bro.
No, when you
why would you want a cat?
Like, so it could be just one cat. It's not people that have like a plethora of cats. Like just one.
Not like the cat lady.
Yeah.
I've never known anybody that had just one cat.
Come on, Ferg. I mean, I don't like cats either, but
I know that's
how many
cats are okay. They're like, I don't like them either, but they're okay.
Yeah, they're okay when you see them walking down the street. But why would you want to own one?
You gotta
have to find a cat lover because I don't know either.
How many friends do you have that are cat lovers? Like I found out like after the fact that people are like, oh, I have a cat. Like I would have never guessed that. Like being a cat lover is almost like being a young Republican. Like I would never like usually like it's like a shocker. Like
I will say though, Black people inherently don't trust people that have cats that bring food to the potluck. Oh, you got cats? Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Don't trust them.
Skip right over this dish.
Oh, you just happen to have a tuna casserole. Not gonna eat it. How many cat people do you know, Razi?
I know about 5.
In your whole life, you know 5 cat people. Byron, how many cat people you got?
I don't really.
Exactly.
I don't know any. I can't think of any at least.
Exactly. Yeah. But you want to defend them.
I mean, it's just, they're pets, man. People love cats. You know?
I guess. Cat people do better. There's dogs. There's all kind of dogs. And I feel like all cats are the same.
Like Ollie wants a snake. That kind of freaks me out.
Snakes are cooler than cats.
That is true.
Snakes are cooler. Cats just, and then they have a horrible attitude. It's just like, there's nothing, I don't know. Cat people. Let's go ahead and pay some bills and get this show started because obviously I'm the only person that feels this way.
I don't know how many cat listeners we got, but
I lost some.
They ain't gonna come for you though.
Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast here to tell you about Michelob Ultra Courtside. It's getting fans closer to the NBA with a chance to win prizes like courtside seats, a trip to All-Star Weekend, and much more. Check it out at MichelobUltra.com/courtside. Michelob Ultra Superior Access, Courtside 24-25 sweepstakes, no purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21 and up. Begins on October 1st, 2024, ends July 1st, 2025. Multiple entry periods. Visit MichelobUltra.com/courtside for free entry deadlines, and official rules. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited.
So we're back. 3 Brothers, No Sense. We do not have Sophie here today, so Razi is going to give us a joke. But before that, how was Halloween, man?
Oh, man, it was good. It was fun. The kids talked me into letting them go trick-or-treating. I fought it down to the last minute, but we hit the zoo and did kind of what they call boo at the zoo. That was fun. They just walked around and, all the scary stuff there. That was fun. It was super packed, but, they had a good time. And I set that up so that they could have some fun on Halloween, but I set it up with their cousins. And while they were there, they all plotted to stay together after the zoo. And so they ended up over their house. So we ended up going with them trick-or-treating. So they had a good time. It was hard because you guys know that like Jenica always makes such a huge deal about pretty much every holiday and pretty much anything. She was just extra. But Halloween was one of her favorites. And I've come to the conclusion that she is the fun one
I know what took you so long to figure that
out. So it's one of those things that it's just one more mask that I got to put on, one more thing that I got to worry about is trying to make sure that they have fun, because I just don't worry about it as much. And so, but that's a good thing for me because then I don't necessarily have to worry or think about her not being there because I'm so wrapped up in making sure they're having fun. So that helps kind of get my mind off of her not being there and just concentrating on how do I make this fun for them. So we did We Bear Bears. And so we posted the little pic of the We Bear Bears stacked up and we stacked up. And so that was fun. So yeah, they had a good time and they ended up spending the night over there. And so, yeah, they had a full weekend out of it. So yeah, it was good, man. What about y'all? Byron, you said y'all's was a little different, right?
Yeah. First off, kudos to you, man, for trying to keep it going and everything, man. Look, they had a good time. We had a good time. It was Jasmine's birthday. And she just was so appreciative and just.
What kind of car did y'all buy her?
She had so much fun. Please don't listen to Ferg out. First off, Razi is the rich one. So I don't even know why he's putting it all on me.
Probably a G-Wagon. That's why he don't want to tell nobody.
Dude, she really wants that G-Wagon. I ain't talking about Jasmine. I'm talking about her mom. But yeah, man, we had a good time. We carved pumpkins. Her best friend came over, ordered pizza. We watched, we did like a movie night. And we watched The Nightmare Before Christmas. That was my first time ever seeing that. And the moments where she lets me like baby her or whatever are so rare now. And she just was like, Daddy, come sit over here. So I have to really cherish these moments now. So I was just loving life, man. The fact that she wanted to be next to me. So it was a great time, man. Great time.
If y'all could see the smile on his face, that made his day. So she'll get the car next year.
You know, no car.
All right.
She's getting a car. When she turns 16, she's getting a car. It's just what car she's getting.
Yeah, she didn't one of the hand-me-downs. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
But now, it was good for us too, man. We actually got with our COVID couples and had a little mini Halloween party with us and 3 other couples and their kids. And Sky dressed up as Tinkerbell. TJ was Captain Hook because he's ultimately a villain. But we had fun. We went over there. They made cookies, painted pumpkins. We drank. We had a good time, man. We stayed out late and just relaxed. And it was just good to kind of get away. And I think most people were excited about getting past Halloween and getting into the holiday season because I know I need it. I need some holiday cheer. I need to be a holiday cheermeister or something. So excited about that too. I think I'm excited about this is my favorite time of year. Right after Halloween, kicking off Thanksgiving, which is I think my favorite holiday, and Christmas. So I'm definitely excited. I didn't dress up. Byron, your Tupac imitation was hilarious.
Yeah, good.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, that junk had me rolling, and I will do a costume next year. Did you guys see any good costumes out there?
I tell you what, on the Three Brothers page, somebody, I can't remember who it was, but their whole family posted as the Pac-Man characters. Mm-hmm. That was pretty good, man. So yeah. I enjoyed that. Somebody had like a real good Batman look. Like it wasn't the cheap Batman costume. Like they could have been a stunt double on Dark Knight, bro. So it was some pretty good ones out there.
Yeah, I saw some good ones. One of the bros dressed up as his family as Married with Children. That had me rolling. That had me rolling. I saw one lady dress her daughter up as, I guess, Breonna Taylor. That messed with me.
I saw that too.
That just and they didn't even say her name.
Don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that one. I didn't even like the Topsy and Bopsy stuff.
I didn't see any of those.
Yeah, I saw a lot of those.
Yeah.
Those of you who don't know, Topsy and Bopsy, they were the Pickaninny folks from Lovecraft Country. So it's supposed to be like a horror take on it, but it's still kind of feeling a little bit Sambo-ish and like blackface-ish. So that a lot of folks are kind of torn on it.
Yeah, I guess I have mixed emotions on that because I think it was, I almost hate to say it was like the N-word where we embraced it, took it and made it our own thing type thing. But I didn't like Topsy and Bopsy because they creeped the hell out of me, and I probably would have swung on somebody.
Halloween is low key, and maybe it's always been, but it's like it's turned into a family day. Like you got adults that like to dress up. Of course, the kids do, man, and just seeing all of the pictures and stuff, I'm like, this is kind of like a family day now.
Yeah. That and truthfully, the thing about it is that's how it was back in the day until, you know, your hyper religious folks caught on and was like, no, it's the devil and everything. I'm like, well, the church actually made Halloween to combat the devil worship part of it, like All Saints Day and all that good stuff. So it's one of those things that the church created Halloween, and then the church came back and said, no, it's devil worship. So I'm like, you can't have it both ways, church.
Why you say church so hard?
When did it start, Razi? Around Gen X? Did they do it? Were they responsible for this anti-Halloween?
I hate to say it, but I think so, actually. Gen X is the ones that came out and tried to, like, make it a big deal. Yeah. Gen X, man. They're messing up stuff.
So we didn't dress up this year, but I think we're going to do something next year. I did like you said, Byron, seeing the families do it. I think we're going to do something next year. And I think more so 2020 has taught us to kind of embrace those moments. Yeah. Especially hopefully this time next year we're back to some normality that we can go out and trick or treat and do those type things where we can, you know, really celebrate. I think that was the biggest thing, was the fact that we really couldn't do anything. And so it just kind of brought us down to the point was like, why go invest in more costumes? But so we're going to bring it back. Razi, do you have a good joke for us?
I mean, it's a joke. I don't know if it's good, but we're going to roll with it. So just quick, I'm going to jump in. Why shouldn't you fart in the Apple store?
Something about a virus, maybe?
No. Because they don't have windows.
I don't even know if that was bad or good. I don't know. I don't know.
You know what though? All of our guests like his jokes. Like the homie Mike James, Renata, like they. So maybe it's me and you, Ferg. Maybe it's me and you.
It might be.
Y'all don't have a sense of humor. That's what it is.
No. It might be. Or they look at Razi like the little kid in church and it was like a bless his heart type thing. Let him use you. That's all right. That's all right. That was a better one. That was a better one.
It wasn't horrible. Yeah,
definitely. It wasn't horrible. You know? Okay, so let's jump into it. Like I said, this is a week. This will drop the day before election 2020. So we were having this conversation last night, more so about like anybody that can vote for Trump in the aftermath or whatever's going to happen. And so my question to you guys is, do you think Donald Trump is more dangerous in office or out of office?
Ooh. Wow. Possibly out of office, because we've seen him in office and it's pretty dangerous. But there are times when he's had to be reeled in. So like when he suggested we could inject ourselves with disinfectant, he didn't do any of those press conferences for a while. He left it to Fauci and what's her name, Dr. Birx or whatever. Mm-hmm. So there are times where he gets pulled back, like he wanted the military parade on Pennsylvania Avenue, and they're like, yo, we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So there are times that they have checked him, believe it or not. If he's not in office, you know, who's going to check him? And he's going to still have those followers when he's not in. It's not like they're going to be like, well, he's not president anymore. Like, no, they're going to still follow his every word, and he can be as reckless as he wants to. And that right there is super dangerous. Anything compared to him being president. With that said, I still don't want him to be president, so he can go out there and just be as dangerous as he want to be. But to answer your question, I think the argument can be made that he's probably more dangerous out of office.
I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to say that he's more dangerous in office. I think there's a danger time if he gets voted out where the transition period where he can do some crazy stuff before he actually leaves in January. But he loses a lot of the power that comes along with the administration and the presidency when he's not in office anymore. So everybody knows that a president's second term, they get more reckless. They push things that, they had to hold off for so that they could actually try to get a second term. So they had to slow play it a little bit and get reeled in, as Byron says. But the thing about it is, if he gets reelected, who gonna check him, boo? Like, my thing is, it's like the people said they want more of me. They love me. Ain't nobody coming to see Otis. They coming to see Donald. And so the thing about it is, he is going to want to go above and beyond and go harder. And he has the power of the presidency to do a lot more executive orders. He has the Justice Department. That is where you're going to see a lot of protesters starting to get tried. You got the ACA coming up, and so Obamacare, and he's, as the president, he's going to be pushing against that. And so I think when you talk about dangerous, he has the nuclear war codes, and he has the military that he can actually push into some of these areas. The problem is that he wants to use the military on U.S. soil instead of going out. Like he hasn't started a war. Right. That's one of their talking points. He's one of the only presidents that hasn't included us in a war. The problem is he likes to use the military on our soil, whereas most presidents don't, because it's technically illegal. So, but legal is a sliding scale with him anyway. So when you talk about him being out of office, yeah, he'll have that big bullhorn. He'll have those militia. But he doesn't have the power of the actual presidency behind him to cause as much chaos as I think he'd be able to do if he stayed in. So I'm on the other side of that.
I think you make some great points too. And I intentionally didn't use the "who gonna check me" boo line, because I just knew something told me that's perfect for Razi to use. And I agree. I think you actually are right and I'm wrong on this answer. But I will say that for anyone that agrees with you, don't think that he still won't have influence on these elections, because he still, when these Republicans are in these tight races, he still can mobilize voters on who they should or shouldn't vote for. And these politicians, as you've seen with him in office, care a lot about that. So he will still have that power. But I think Razi made a better argument than I did. So.
Well, I think it all comes down to his base. So let me give you guys a little what's going on in Texas. So yesterday, Biden's campaign was supposed to go to Austin to kind of do a rally. You know what happened there?
Oh yeah, they like tried to. There was a motorcade that tried to like knock cars off the street and everything. They ended up having to cancel the rally, right?
They had to call the police to escort them to a safe haven because the cars outnumbered the police 50-1. Like, these people are emboldened. Right now in Houston, there is a Trump rally, and they pretty much shut down I-45 and 610. And police chief basically said, "Stay home." These are the people that he can garner their support once he's out of office, because they took me from you. He's going to be a living martyr. Like, he's more dangerous because, like you said, to me, to the base. Like there's things like, yes, ACA, he can't touch that like that. He won't have the military backing, but straight danger to your daily lifestyle, your well-being, little uprisings. To me, that's where he's most dangerous. To the point where the next presidential election, if he loses this one, if you're the Republican candidate, it's going to behoove you to be in Trump's good graces. I think if this dude continues to have the power and the pull he has, like people are going to be, Trump's going to be the Republican Illuminati. Like he has so much of a base that I feel like people can't afford to go against him, especially now that he doesn't have to play ball.
Yeah, I do think Trump's going to take Reagan's spot. Trump is going to be the new Reagan for them.
Yeah. And think about how Barack is speaking at these rallies for Biden. 2024, when you got Trump speaking at your rally and he's been building his base, because now that he's not president, if he's not president, he can devote all his time to going out there just wrecking shop and building his credentials and building his base even stronger, because he's going to make money as a public speaker from here on out, just being Trump.
And think about it. This was a small thing, but before he became president as a private citizen, he forced the current president of the United States to show his birth certificate. And that was before he had like this huge following now. He was able to do that. So that dude, put it like this, after November 3rd, even if he loses, I don't think he fully goes away.
He's not going away.
Yeah.
And he's more because now he can go to those because when he preaches they stole the election from me, and doesn't everybody in here think I won? Don't you guys want me to be president? Don't you want me there for the long term? Wasn't I sticking up for you? Because now these conspiracy theorists and these people that think the fake news and all that stuff were again, now they really have a rallying cry. They have a rallying call. The Proud Boys they don't have to stand by anymore. Like, I think this dude, I mean, we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. I will give you this. The only reason I might be swayed is you're talking about ACA. Trump's more dangerous in office simply because I do not feel comfortable with him navigating us through this pandemic. And I think, to me, for no other reason, he should almost be disqualified. Like, you know what? He doesn't like the black people either, but he's letting white people die too. Like, how you can feel comfortable saying this guy is your best hope to help us get through this pandemic. And he has shown, I'm drinking a Kool-Aid and there's something I'm missing. We're missing. But this dude has done a piss poor job. Like, he hasn't gotten any better. Maybe COVID would have caught him off guard the first month and a half. Like, you know what? I had no idea it was about to be this crazy. And you start turning the corner. I think they said, 30,000 people contracted the COVID virus at his rallies, at 15 rallies, 18 rallies?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it just, I mean, and to me, either way, he has shaped unless the next Republican candidate tries to go back to some kind of, I don't know, moral value, has some kind of moral values. He has shaped the outcome of America for the foreseeable future. Like,
he did that with his Supreme Court picks.
Yeah.
So the Democrats definitely need to pack the court. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, next week. So, but yeah, they definitely need to.
If they don't pack the court, I'm voting Republican here on out.
I know, because they don't win, so it don't make no sense. Might as well just get on board.
That's all I got, fellas. What y'all got? Who's next on the MIC?
I can go next. Kind of staying with the theme somewhat. So everybody has been lumping these four guys into one, but to me, they're all separate things that happen. So 50 Cent, I felt like jokingly endorsed Trump in a way when he saw the tax plan. Ice Cube didn't even meet with Trump. He met with like members of his administration in trying to implement some of his Black America contract with America. And we know Kanye met with Trump when he first got elected. And then, of course, the latest, my man, Lil Wayne. I gotta put that out there. I am a Lil Wayne fan. But I guess my simple question to you guys is, are you mad at any of these rappers for what they said or them endorsing Trump? And why? Why are you mad, and why are you mad?
I think we have to stop lumping them together, like you said. Yes, I'm mad at Kanye.
Yeah, well, I know you mad at Kanye.
yeah, you know I'm mad at Kanye. I'm mad at Lil Wayne, but at the same time, it's like Lil Wayne doesn't carry, for me, and I think for most people, the seriousness of Kanye, because people did really kind of get behind Kanye when he did the whole, George Bush doesn't care about Black people. He had kind of at least a little political capital when he spoke, versus Lil Wayne that everybody's like, nigga's a crackhead. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, not a lot of people is worried about him on that political realm. So I don't think a lot of people are going to be swayed by him. So that's why I guess I'm not as worried about him. Like you said, I'm not mad at Ice Cube at all, because Cube just said, here's my contract. Whoever want to talk about it, here's what I think need to happen. Yeah, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna talk about what I think needs to happen. If you put it in your plan or not, that's on you.
He did not endorse Trump. Like, people keep saying it. He did not endorse Trump.
Right. That's what I mean. So he never endorsed him. He had a plan, and he talked to whoever he needed to talk to about getting it done. And like he even said it, he was like, I'm gonna talk to who has the power to actually enact this thing. So right now, if they wanted to talk to me, and he was like, I was hoping that they would, instead of trying to make it a plan, they would try to put some of these things in place before the election to start showing that, they want to do it. And so that was what he thought would happen. So I'm all for it. I think that makes sense for him to do that. And then who else is it? Who am I missing?
50 Cent.
50 Cent. Like you said, I think that was a joke. I think he was like, look, I want my taxes. Like, I think we've said the same thing. Personally, I want my taxes lowered too. Like, I'm all for that. But he was like, I don't think he was to the point where he's like, yes, I'm a flat out endorser. Because if you look, he said a bunch of stuff before that he didn't support him. And then he came back right after and said, I still don't support him. So I think it was a joke. I think it was taken out of context a little bit from his perspective. So I'm not mad at him either.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say it like this. This is my disclaimer. And I'm not mad at Kanye. But I'm not mad at any of them in particular. And I'm going to tell you the reasons why. But this is my disclaimer is I don't think our uninformed Black voters are any smarter than the uninformed white voters that fall for the dumb shit that Trump says. So people who are looking for somebody to guide them and tell them what they should believe and what they should think don't necessarily know all the facts. Just like all these people that are supporting Trump because they're familiar with him and they like what he stands for will follow this guy to the ends of the earth for whatever reason. Like you were saying, it started with, the birthers, like he had all these people just questioning Obama's nationality for no reason. There's nothing behind that. And so when you have these other people, like they didn't know what the hell's going on. But when you have these other Black voters who might not know what's going on, but they know who 50 is, they know who Ye is, they know who Weezy is, they know who Ice Cube is. Even if they were joking ahead, I think you have to be very clear of your intent. Like 50, I think he was joking. But you got to be clear. You got to make sure people understand that, because we can't afford to let people think that you were serious. And they trust 50 more than Biden. I don't trust Trump. I don't trust Biden, but I trust 50. So I'm gonna listen to him. Wayne, I mean, he is a crackhead, but at the same time, you have to be, hey, you know what? I'm a multimillionaire and I'm not trying to see the 60% tax. It crushes me, but they ain't gonna do for y'all. Like you almost, I feel like you have to be clear in your messaging. Did I say Kanye yet?
You did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like this dude, because I think he had a group of people that followed him. Like he was at one point, like Razi said, he had political capital. When he came up and said George Bush doesn't like black people, like, well, okay, this dude's trying to speak up for us and stuff like that. And hopefully nobody's taking him seriously, but I think he was intentional. So that's my only thing. I think out of all four of them, he was the only one that was intentionally trying to say, go support Trump. Or now support himself. I don't know where we're saying with that now. Yeah. Is he telling us to support Trump or himself now?
He confuses me because he's running for president. So you're running to take his job. So can you endorse somebody whose job you're trying to take?
I don't know. So that's why and Ice Cube is the to me the anomaly out of all this. He's the standout where we don't always have the facts. We just same thing. You got to be clear. You know, and maybe he was, but we take it and run with it is, hey, I'm not endorsing Trump, but I am willing to talk to anybody who's going to do right by my people. And so here are my suggestions. Here are the things I want to bring to your attention. Who wants to talk to me? Who wants to sit down and really discuss this seriously? But my biggest fear is so many people who are uninformed and get their knowledge and their opinions on things from other places that Wayne, no matter if he made that comment or not, if Trump wins or Trump loses, that's what's going to decide his taxes. So he doesn't have to put that out there. Like 50 doesn't have to put that out there. Like when you have that potential power, you have to be careful what you say. You have to be careful because people will listen to you and take your joke the wrong way. Is it unfair to a certain extent? Yeah, but with great power comes great responsibility. And there's people out there listening to 50. There's people out there listening to Wayne. And it's scary because I guess every vote counts. I don't even know anymore.
So just to kind of go over all of them like Razi did, I too felt like 50 was just joking and I didn't really take him that seriously. Ice Cube, so me personally, I would not have met with Trump because I feel like he's shown a pattern of only meeting with prominent black people but just using them for a photo op. He met with Jim Brown. Like Jim Brown is the OG. If Jim Brown couldn't get him to implement any meaningful change and all he did was take a picture with him, then to me, that tells me, okay, he's not serious. But I'm not mad at Ice Cube for trying that. I will just say that had Ice Cube looked at Joe Biden's plan that's on his website, if he looked at some of the plans the Congressional Black Caucus has, then maybe I think he could have consulted with them more and seen that there were already plans out there like his contract with Black America already out there. So it's kind of like the chick that went viral. Like you can't sit down with your oppressors and expect them to be your saviors. So Kanye is Kanye, man. I think you guys both hit it. Like he did have that credibility at first. Like it wasn't just that he said Bush doesn't care about black people, but it was the passion that led up to that line when he was saying, I just got off the phone with my agent and I'm trying to see what's the most that I can financially give, without breaking myself, but I'm trying to give as much as I possibly can. Like he spoke so unscripted and with so much passion that, we was rocking with him. So it was kind of, a kick in the gut when we saw him posing with Kanye and wearing that hat. Lil Wayne always high, man. Like seriously, for the last 10, 15 years, all Lil Wayne raps about is eating and getting high. So, and he's already said what he said about Black Lives Matter a few years ago. He has a different take on police in general. A police officer literally saved his life. there's no way in hell Lil Wayne read the Platinum Plan. Like, that's what his tweet said. I met with Trump, and after reading his Platinum Plan, he's going to, well, he ain't read that Platinum Plan. So you cannot take him seriously whatsoever. It was disappointing to see. Can't take him seriously. And I saw everybody like real upset, but like, name the last profound thing you heard Lil Wayne say ever. So like, your expectations should have never been there with Lil Wayne. But I will say this, and this is why people are mad or should be mad, even with 50 Cent, who I think was just joking. We've talked about how the Trump campaign in 2016 got 14% of the black male vote. They feel like they can get 20% this year. When he meets with these individuals like that, yeah, it's not going to sway the majority of us, but it could sway enough to bump him up to that 20%. And that's what makes it dangerous. And like you said, Ferg, that's when you need to make clear what, even if you want to make the joke or whatever, you need to come back and make it clear. Look, on the real, I'm not supporting a man that called Nazis good people. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to support a man that took 3 days to denounce the Ku Klux Klan. I'm not going to do it. So that's the kind of stuff that you got to put out there. And that's why it's dangerous. I made a post that said, a lot of black women are feeling like black men don't really want equality. They just want better access to patriarchy. And right on time, black men objected to that. And when you have these rappers doing stuff like this, meeting with a man that has shown you he doesn't care about black lives in particular, then it kind of makes them say, well, hey, you're really just only looking out for the male species. You're not looking out for true racial equality. And that's what makes it dangerous.
It's funny. We had this conversation last night, and Fred Maxey, who's one of our listeners, and I'm going to paraphrase, he kind of said, and he agrees, we were talking about this stuff, but he's like, but we don't get upset when Cardi B endorses Biden. Like, we don't get upset when, and I think I might have brought this up. What was it, strippers from Magic City or strokers or whatever did the boat campaign or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like, because we just assume that none of them are as informed as they should be. Like you said, there's no way that Lil Wayne read the Platinum Plan. How much do you think Cardi B knows about Kamala and Biden's platform? Just because they're black and like, well, they're supporting who the black people support. So Cardi B's right arm is like, as long as you're on our side and you're voting for or speak up for the people we think should win, we don't have a problem with it. Because I don't think Cardi B probably knows any more about politics than Lil Wayne. Maybe not Lil Wayne, because he's always high.
He is. But he's always. And listen, that wasn't an excuse. I've always said that. I always think Lil Wayne is high. He's always high.
Oh man.
I will say this though. You remember the crap they gave Obama when he met with Common, who has to be like the safest rapper in the world.
Yes.
Yeah. He gets to meet with a guy who wrote F the Police, 50 Cent, who is like, I mean,
notorious.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's crazy.
That's awesome, actually.
What white man get away with.
Man, he might as well meet with NWA.
Yeah, I mean, they can do it. Just imagine Obama meeting with Lil Wayne, and tell me how that goes on Fox News.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, are the Lakers meeting with Trump? Did they decide they go?
Man, they probably gonna meet with Obama like Golden State did. They met with Obama.
Or Biden, because by the time the invitations go out, it'll be January before they go anyway, right?
Yeah.
Are the Dodgers gonna meet with them too? I don't know. I'm almost. That's what I have to see. Like, anytime there's a championship, I have to see. Like, so what are your stances? Are you meeting with the president? Yes or no? Okay.
As a team, yeah. Like you said, now we've gotten to the point where I've got to support a team based on their politics.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what sports has never been that deep. So, what you got for us, Razi?
I'm gonna throw a curveball on it. I posted a week or two ago about retired NFL players, and they were just talking about how, a lot of people think once you sign your contract, boom, you're a millionaire, and the hands come out, right? Everybody's like, ooh, feed us, and everything, and trying to figure out how they were going to help, and how, who they were going to help, and where they drew the line. And there was a quote that hit home with me from that post, and it said, if we're all happy, we're all broke. Especially when you have new money. It's like, you can blow through $100,000, $200,000 in a year, 2 years, very, very easily. So as soon as people feel like you got money, the hands come out. People, can you help me out with this? Can you help me out with that? And, we talked a little bit about when you got it, you blow it a little faster. You just are more apt to spend it. You ever had that toothpaste tube, and, when you first get it new, you stick it on the toothpaste brush, and it's like, all the way across, you might pop a little scoop on the top, that type of thing. But when you're down and you roll it and you having to push into the little nozzle just to get something out, you can stretch that out for 4 or 5 days. And so you looser with it when you got the money. And so my question to you guys is, how do you structure your charity, and how do you draw the line on who to help and not to help? Like, who do you choose? How do you choose who you're going to help?
So a couple of factors play into this. It's going to depend on what our relationship is like before I was in the position to lend out said money. And if I've loaned you money before and didn't get it paid back, then I'm not going to ever do it again. So the relationship definitely plays a part, man. I used to, I go home. I know exactly how these football players feel, because I don't even have anywhere close to their money. But because you know how it is, like, especially when we were younger, if you move away from Mobile, then to a lot of your people back home, you made it. You got it. So when you come home, you got it. So I had a cousin in particular that expected me to just let him borrow money. And this is a guy who never gave me anything, like not even a hookup on the hair. Like, he used to cut my hair sometimes. Never even a hookup, like always full price. Never looked out for anybody on anything. Like, he's completely selfish. And he think I'm going to let him borrow some money, which I know ain't going to come back to me. Nah, bro. He wound up complaining to my stepdad about it. So it's like, it just depends on our relationship, man. I actually just loaned some money out a couple of days ago because she's somebody that I just really care about in the family, and I want to see her succeed. And I think this would help her, and she did promise to pay it back. But I think we talked about this on an earlier episode. I don't really loan out what I can't afford. So getting paid back, I'm not going to say it's not important, because I do want my money back. But it's not something that I'm going to jeopardize one of my bills for. Like, man, if she don't pay me back, how the hell am I going to pay the mortgage? Like, it's never going to be that type of loan. So I always lend out what I can afford. And that's pretty much the criteria I use, man. Like, sometimes what it's for plays in the part, and some people think that's rude to even ask, but I feel like if you're asking me for money, I do have the right to ask what it's for. You know what I'm saying? So, just all those different factors, man, play into me doing that.
All right.
Well, Buff, you rich, so it ain't tricking if you got it.
Razi is the rich one, folks. I just want everybody to know that he is the rich one. Okay.
Now, I'm very similar. So for one, I'm very particular who I lend money to. A big part of it is our relationship. But also, secondly, I think a big part of it is how you live your life. So if I know that Byron is coming to me asking me for money, Byron doesn't ask for money. So if Byron's coming to me, he's exhausted every avenue to get these funds that he could. And it takes a lot for him to come to me. And I know that he takes care of his family. He works hard and stuff like this. So if I have to lend him some money, I wouldn't think twice about it. And I probably, and even to your point, like I would ask like everything good, what is it for? Not because I want to get all in your business, but because you might ask for $250, but you really need $500. And I'm like, you know what, dude? Like, yo, here's a $5. Hit me back when you can, because I know that you're gonna have to go depend on somebody else to get another $250, and you didn't want to come to me for the whole part. But if you're coming, it's for a reason.
That's a great point.
You know, like if it's there's people like if you ask me, they ask me, there's no questions asked. There's people gonna ask me for $100, and I need to know when you're gonna pay me back and stuff like that. If there's people that ask me for $1,000, you know, like, hey dog, you know, everything good, like you need me to come down. Like I'm y'all, like one of y'all, like I'm trying to figure out what's going on in your world because I want to be helped. It's not even about the money at this point. It's about like, are you good? You know what I'm saying? And I have family members that way, same way too. And then some people like, I would like to get my money back, but I know, especially when it's about $100, $200, when I know this $100, $200 is going to mean more to you than it ever means to me at this point in my life. Because I've had people try to pay me back, and I know that they had to, and the fact that they tried to pay me back is big. But I know that $100, $200, they had to wait 2 paychecks to get that together, which probably meant they had to save this, and this. You know, like, if we got up this weekend, I can spend $100, $200 at the bar between us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying it's not a big thing, but it's just like, I'll go spend that on some leisure shit. And this $200 is something that's going to make or break your family or change the dynamics of your life. You know, I'm going to take that in consideration based off how you live your life. Like if I look up and you got the new ones and the new 11s and you ask me for $100, like I work hard and I make pretty decent money and I don't got new ones and new 11s. Like how you buying this? How are you living this lifestyle, making these type of decisions, and you're asking me for money? Like shit happens, you know, like, hey, you need money today. You don't get paid till Friday. Okay, I get it. But when you don't, especially if you don't pay me back, because I got people that ask me, I know people that might call me and ask me for $20 and I'm not even entertaining them right now. Just because it's like, I don't trust what you're doing with this money. I feel like you have a list of people you're trying to go down and you're asking $20 from 10 different people, hoping that you can get $5 and get $100. And I don't know what you're going to do with it. It really doesn't matter. But it's just like you made no attempts to pay me back. I feel like this 20, for one, I have like my hierarchy. Instead of lending you $20, I'd rather lend him $200 because I know this $200 is going to mean more to him and help him do stuff. Like he's trying or she's trying to improve their life. So I'm like you said, your family member that, hey, I'll give them money because I know this is going to impact their life.
So I guess to both of you, just to follow up that, how do you know when to stop? Like,
I've been broke.
Because I'm just saying, like multiple people. So how do you know when's too much?
Like at the same time, or somebody that keeps asking me for?
Yeah, like we talked about those folks who just got drafted. Right now, everybody's hand out. So you got 20, 30 people, 40 people hitting you up saying, "Hey, I need this. What's this? Can you help me out with this? Oh, you got it, big money grip. What's up? Yeah, and all of that. Like at what point do you just be like, yo, I'm cutting everybody off. I'm stopping. Put it like this: say you got $1,000 extra just sitting in the bank that you like, okay, cool, I'm gonna give it out. And I can spend that money. That's the extra money. Like Byron said, my bills paid. I got this money over there. And 3 of your sisters, for me, 3 sisters, 3 siblings, a cousin, all of them, y'all grew up together, same situation-ish, right? They all need it. They need total $1,500, $2,000. How do you be like, I'm gonna give this sister some, this sister some? Like, how do you stop it? Like, that's the question.
For one, it's not hard for me to stop it. Like if I got $1,000, it's $1,000. Maybe I made that $1,000 hastily. Maybe $1,500. Kind of like Byron said, maybe the $1,500 isn't going to break me, and that extra $500 is going to change the dynamics of 4 people. I'll weigh that out. But I'm not going to be like, man, if I don't get this $1,500 back, we ain't going to be able to pay the mortgage. Not about to happen. And I also take into consideration who you are, what you're trying to do, how you've been with your money, especially recently. Because people change, like I haven't always been great with money. I had to learn and stuff like that. So, but when you're trying to make a change and you're trying to do better and you're fully committed and it's not all talking, the proof is in the pudding. Because you said it's 4 people. Yeah. Somebody might get 1,000 because I know that Razi's going to do this 1,000 for Razi. And he's going to do what he said he's going to do with it. And he's turned over every stone rather than you coming to me the last minute. I don't know, man. But luckily I'm an asshole too. So.
Yeah, it's difficult, man. It's hard because just watching that short clip and we'll share it on the Three Brothers site for everybody that's listening. But, they were talking about how one of them made a list and it was like, if any of these folks come and say, I've got a business plan or I've got this idea and no, hands down, they got it. But he was like, I'm investing in them to be better. I'm not giving them handouts. He's like, yeah, my mama, my sisters, they taken care of. I might put a down payment on my mama's house or whatever. So now she can afford the house, even though it's out of her price range. I'll pay it down enough that she can get a normal mortgage off of that and she can live off of that. But she got a bigger house or whatever. He's like, so I'm going to set them up or I might invest in there. And he's like, nobody ever came with a business plan. He's like, everybody want a handout, but nobody wants to be able to be like, yeah, hey, I want to open up this, chicken spot right here on this corner or whatever. He's like, I'll give you consultants if you need to. I'll help you out. I'll do whatever you need to make sure that chicken spot works. But come to me with the plan and we'll get it rocking. He's like, still nobody came to me. And so he's like that. So it was really easy for him to say no when it came for handouts, because when he was there ready to give them kind of a leg up, and really changed their life, they weren't down for that.
But so you say that all the time, though. I think because we've seen that happen where we've had people like, if you're serious about this, put in the work. Mm-hmm. What have you done? Even if you watch Shark Tank, that's what they do. They like, tell me about what you've done. Like I think of 2 instances when I gave money. It wasn't even a business plan. It was them trying to prove. Like I had a family member who needed to get her teaching license. She had to take the test or something like that. It might have been $100, $200. I don't know how much it was, but she was in that situation. She was kind of living check to check. This job would increase her income, better her life, and stuff like that. But pay you back. That cool. Let me know that you studied. Let me know when you're ready to take the test and you're registered for the test, and I'll pay for it. No questions asked. Because she's like, I'm trying to save. It's going to take me about 6 months because I'm in this and this and this and this. Like, do these things. I got you.
Yeah.
I had one of my old coworkers who was trying to be an adjuster. No, she was trying to sell life insurance. And she had to take the test. And something happened where she messed up. Then the test didn't do well. So she had to wait again to save up to pay for the test. I'm like, how much is it? And she told me the amount. And for me, it wasn't a big deal. But I know she works hard, single mother, like bust her ass. And it's like, what's your cash app? Like, I'm sending you the money right now. Like, because but maybe $150 put you in a new career path that you're able to provide better lifestyle for you and your son. Because I've been in those situations where I felt like I couldn't get help if I could just catch a break. Your parents have bailed me out of that before. I remember going to fam and I think I needed like $500, $600 to get back in school. I don't know how much it was about. And we didn't have it at the time. But your mom was like, how much is it? All right, here, can I pay over the phone? Because she's almost like, get me off the phone. What do you need? This dude has had a rough time going, and he just needs a break. And you never know. Sometimes that break is all somebody needs. And I've been blessed enough to have a few people help me. Your family, people have helped me in those moments where, I'm not saying $1,000 is chump change, but your family probably go spend $1,000 on something, and your mama will spend $1,000 on an opportunity to start a business that may or may not work. Mm-hmm. And she's like, all right, that $1,000 gone. But,
she will too.
Exactly, because I know your mama. But then it's like, okay, I help this guy get back in school, and 15 years later, here he is. Like whatever. There was a part of me that might have had to leave fam if I wouldn't have got that money. Like those are things that you just never know how much that impacts somebody's life. So.
That's basically what I do. You guys know I'm a big on having a budget, and I have a literally line item in my budget for charity that I'm going to give people, and it's where I don't just give it out willy nilly, but at the same time, it's like if something comes up that piques my interest, and I hit them up and be like, hey, like you said, what's your cash app? I got you. Like, I want to do this for you. Like that is, for me, that's my tithe, because I ain't gonna lie, I don't pay my tithes. So, that's what I look at. It's like, I'm going to do charity for people, and I want to be direct in what I do. And so I may just be like, what is it? I got you. Like you said, I'll pay for that. Don't worry about that. So that's how I try to give back. And I have that line item, and when it's gone, it's gone. Yeah, those instances where family come and it's outside of my normal budget or whatever, I do have to kind of listen and weigh and say, yes, I'm going to spend that extra on it or whatever. But if it's inside of my little budget or whatever for the month, or I ain't spent it last month, so I got a little bit extra anyway, then cool, whatever, and whether it's a loan or not, for me, it's always I gave them the money. Like Byron said, it's not giving away if I need it back. So it's one of those things. I expect it back. I want it back. I'm gonna hold you to it that at some point. But if it takes you 6 months, a year to get it back to me, depending on what it was in our relationship, that might be cool.
And I think I took your question on as like strictly something to be paid back versus just investing in somebody or just giving them that money because you want to do something good, which my answer is still the same as far as how do I determine, because it depends on that relationship. It depends on, if you have a business plan or whatever, like how much I believe in that. And like Ferg said, it's not hard for me to say no. And like you said, Razi, like you have that budget. So once whatever that amount is gone, then that's it. That's all you got, man. But it's important to remember we've all had help at some point. Like Wendell helped me immensely when I first moved up.
That dude.
I will never, ever forget what that dude did for me, man. So we've all had help along the way. So I definitely don't mind helping people when I can. Yeah. And as far as like, I know you said, Ferg, sometimes you don't want the money back. And that is true. But for me, I think you said this too. You got to make the effort, because then that's a respect.
Let me decide. Yeah,
that's a respect thing. Don't just assume, like you guys keep joking about the size of my house. Man, Byron got that house. He good. He don't need his back. No, bro. You don't know what I need. like you said, for let me decide if I want it back or not. But you need to at least make that attempt.
Because what I've done is in the same way. Like because to me, if I gave you $500 a day to start a business or do whatever, and you try to pay me back, and I'm like, dog, you've done a lot, man. I know you really did. You got to get going. Pay it forward, man. Because sometimes I do it because I'm like, that $100, $200 is not going to make or break me. I actually almost forgot about it. What I'd rather you do is next time as your life progresses and somebody asks you for $50, $100, $200, you remember this moment. And I don't have that speech, but like I remember this moment where you can do the same thing. Some people I will have a revolving $200 for them. Like, look, it took you 6 months, and I know this wasn't really a big deal. So that $200 you loaned me, I loaned you that you paid me back. So next time you ask for me $200, it's the same $200. But I feel like you at least owe you do owe that, especially as you get older. When you're young and things are just hectic and nigga, $50 makes or breaks you. Because I've been in those days where $50 makes or breaks me. But as you get older and you become more mature, and then you have more responsibility as well, You're taking money out of other people's mouths, out of the kids' mouths, out of, them potentially blessing somebody else because one thing I realize is if you screw over somebody, you never know how close they were to not lending you something or not lending something, helping somebody else. I've never wanted to be Ferg is a reason I don't help anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be that, and I've had people, luckily I haven't been burned. I've had some people that borrow money. I'm going to pay you back Tuesday. They'll borrow money on Thursday, Friday. I wake up, that's back in my account. Like I got paid early, that makes it easier to loan to other people. But then you have people that,
Go buy them J's, like you said.
Yeah, like how you? I don't know, but what you got for us, fellas? Let's go ahead and close it out. Closing shots.
Hey man, the only thing I got to say is like y'all said, when this drops on Monday, it'll be the day before elections. You might be listening to us on your way to the election site, to your polling site if you haven't voted yet. Go out, vote. Shout out to my dad. We laugh a lot about my dad being a lifelong Republican or whatever, but he told me, he was like, I voted for Joe Biden. It was the first time I voted for a Democrat. And so, but he was proud of it. And so, shout out to him, with breaking and actually looking at what's going to be better for, his family, the communities that he grew up in, or not grew up in, actually better for the communities he did grow up in, but that he raised us in and everything like that, and voting that, and Doug Jones. And this was the hilarious part. He was like, yeah, because I just couldn't vote for Auburn coach. Like literally that was his reasoning.
Oh, man.
So I'm like, hey, whatever we needed to do, but appreciate it, Dad. So yeah, shout out to him.
That's what's up. We won't mention, man, we rock with Doug Jones, man. So I know it's a long shot, but it'll be real cool to see him get reelected. And we also were talking about loaning out money. So Allison, if you're listening, we know you're making some good money. So just in case you're like Razi and you have like this set aside money for charity, size 12 Royal Toe retro ones. And Tab is looking at the Travis Scott retro ones, I think size 8, but just get with her and y'all work out the size. But, so if you have that, like Razio suggested, if you got that extra 1,000 that you don't mind giving out, size 12, I'll shoot you my address. But other than that, man, I just want to piggyback on the whole vote thing that Razio just said. I made a post about this as well. To me, it's hustling backwards to just tell everybody to go vote, and it doesn't matter who you're voting for. I care who gets elected. I care who wins. I want Joe Biden to win. So if you're voting for Trump, you can stay your ass home. I'm not telling you to go vote. Don't exercise your right this year. You can stay home and just chill and relax. Hey, you know what? Trump got it. He got it. He don't even need you to vote, man. Go on, stay home and kick back. He gonna win. Everybody else who vote for Biden, we need you to go all out there. All right. I'm not telling you to go vote, and it doesn't matter who you vote for. That's hustling backwards to me, and I don't do hustling backwards. Stay your ass home.
I appreciate that, and I'm gonna keep it with the voting thing. But you may or may not know, like I'm taking off Wednesday. Like I don't feel like being bothered. Part of me is thinking about taking off Tuesday as well, especially with the recent stuff going on in Texas, and I might go help protect the polls. Like I'm still debating about that. Like, because I really feel like these guys have been emboldened, and I would hate for somebody like my mother or whatever to be walking to the polls and be nervous because there's somebody out there that's going to make her feel uncomfortable about what she's about to do. And but at the same time, I always got to think about my well-being, because there's a part of me that thinks it might get crazy Tuesday. It might get crazy Tuesday. So I'll keep y'all posted, but I'm definitely taking off Wednesday. Speaking of, we will be recording Wednesday. We're going to have the other half of PE joining us. So if you haven't listened to them, please check out Politically Entertaining. We're going to have Frank on with us, Frank Turner. I can't wait for the episode. So listen out for us. Anything else, fellas, before we jump off?
Nah, man. Gonna be tuned in to Tuesday, though.
We will be tuned into Tuesday. So 3 Brothers No Sense. Listen, like, share, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, listen again. And hopefully when you hear this, we will have a new president of the United States of America.